Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and today's video is going to be a fun one. In today's video, I am going lantern hunting in the Open Great League with Poltergeist, Gourgeist. Lantern, as you may know, has definitely seen some increased play this season with all the flyers, so I figured I may as well bring out the Gourgeist since it has the new charge move, and see if we can wall some lanterns. For the team, I was running an Altaria on the lead and a double save switch, both of which have neutral to positive matchups versus Lantern. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches, and let's go lantern hunting in the Great League. Hopping to the first match, picking up a very nice lead, Altaria into toxicroak. My opponent is going to save switch into Sableye, and I'm actually going to stay in this matchup to start. The reason being, I need to get some Dragon Breath chip damage, so that way I can move it closer to payback range. Sky Attack forces a shield, and now that I have shield advantage, I'm going to send in Dubwool. Dubwool can pretty safely go for a payback as soon as I get there, because this should be very close to payback range. Sableye is able to win CMP, a return would KO here, so I am going to respect it with a shield, and then I can fire off the payback. Payback will be getting the Sableye incredibly low. Sableye lets it through, and Dubwool is able to double kick down. My opponent is going to send back in their Toxicroak. Toxicroak will be able to counter down, but not before I'm able to reach a Body Slam. Body Slam is going to get the Toxicroak deep into the yellow, and I get farmed down. I'm going to wait my timer a little bit and send in Altaria into the loaded Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb will of course be doing quite a lot of damage. We'll have to see what they have in the back, and they have Galarian Stunfisk. Okay, this is definitely doable. Stunfisk does need 3 Rock Slides to KO Gourgeist. Gourgeist is tankier than Trevenant, which is nice, but as you can see, does have Hex instead of Shadow Claw, which is a bit unfortunate. I'm going to fire off the Seed Bomb first, as I will need 2 moves to KO regardless. They're going to fire off another Rock Slide. I'm going to let this through. The thing I do have to watch for is a potential catch by my opponent. They're going to fire off another charge move. I am going to commit the shield here, and then I'm going to decide to bait. So I farm all the way up to 100 energy, and I'm baiting with a Seed Bomb here, hoping to grab the shield. I do get the shield. Opponent goes for the catch onto Toxicroak. I'm able to bank a move. Altaria gets the farm down, and that should be game over. Stunfisk is going to fire off their charge move, getting rid of the Altaria, but I have a loaded Poltergeist ready to go on my Gourgeist. Back in comes Gourgeist. Poltergeist takes out the Stunfisk, and that is a good game. Picking up a very tough lead in the next match, Altaria into Galarian Stunfisk. I will need to immediately save switch out of here, so I bring in Dubwool. My opponent is going to stay in, farm up some energy, and then send in Alolan Ninetales. With this energy lead, Dubwool should be able to put up one heck of a fight versus the Ninetales, because I desperately need to win switch. So far, my opponent is double strong against Altaria, so my hope is that if I'm able to win switch, their third Pokemon is going to be something that Altaria can handle. They fire off the Weather Ball, I'm going to match shields, because I desperately need switch advantage here. I'm farming up, and I'm able to reach the back-to-back Body Slams. First one does get the shield, and the second one is going to be able to take them out. So I've won switch advantage and shield advantage, and that frees my Altaria from having to battle against the Stunfisk. That is quite nice, but the scary thing is that Stunfisk is able to Mudshot down, and they have a massive energy lead over my Gourgeist. They fire off a Rock Slide. I'm going to continue to farm, trying to make it to a Poltergeist. They fire off Rock Slide number 2. I'm going to let this go as well. Gourgeist does have some pretty nice bulk to it, but unfortunately they are barely able to outpace and reach Rock Slide number 3 before I'm able to get to my Poltergeist. I'm at the Poltergeist, so I'm firing it off right away. Poltergeist is going to do big damage onto the Stunfisk. I go for the farm down. Stunfisk reaches a last second move, and I just have to trust in Altaria here. In comes Altaria. It's Azu in the back, and I concede the match. Moving into the next match, leading Altaria into Pidgeot. We'll have to see what fast move this Pidgeot is running, and it's running Wing Attack. Honestly, I definitely prefer to go up against Wing Attack Pidgeot compared to something like Gust. Wing Attack does get to the charge moves faster, but I find that the fast move pressure from Gust honestly makes Gust Pidgeot scarier to face. They fire off their Feather Dance, they of course get the debuff, but even a debuff Sky Attack will still do some damage. Pidgeot is going to farm up and switch into Vigoroth as I reach the Sky Attack. Very nicely done, but as I like to say, one good catch always deserves another, so I'm going to return the favor, catching the Body Slam onto my Gourgeist, where it is going to be double resisted. Gourgeist now in a commanding matchup, and I should be able to overfarm in this matchup, which is quite nice. I fire off the Seed Bomb. Seed Bomb is going to get them them deep into the red. Vigoroth is forced to go for these single-resisted, non-stab bulldoze in this matchup, and bulldoze just does not do a lot of damage. So I am going to overfarm, and now I'm very close to the back-to-back seed bombs. I'm firing off this first one. It is going to be taking out the Vigoroth. Opponent sends back in the Pidgeot. They farm up, and I'm able to reach the other seed bomb. This should be grabbing a shield. I aggressive switch into Altaria to force them to throw energy. I'm perfectly fine tanking this. Opponent decides to go for a Feather Dance, and in the back, they have Machamp, and I should be in the driver's seat of this matchup. I am double debuffed due to Feather Dance, but even so, it is super effective damage, so it's definitely going to add up on the Machamp. Machamp is going to be forced to shield this final charge move, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Machamp gets the full farm down. I'm just going to send in Gourgeist to basically force them to waste their energy, and then Double will be able to finish this game. My opponent baited with a power-up punch. Oh man, that is really, really unfortunate. They go for the Ice Punch, that's going to KO. They are now boosted, but I should be in a spot where Double can close this game. They fire off another power-up punch. Double, completely unfazed, is going to reach the Body Slam. Body Slam will be taking care of the Machamp, and all that's left is the Pidgeot in the back. Pidgeot not going to be able to farm down, so I can very safely commit the shield here. They go for the Feather Dance, and I decide to farm down myself, and that is a good game. We've got a mirror match in the next game, Altaria into Altaria. I'm going to stay in this matchup to start, bank a Sky Attack, and then I'm going to be safe switching into my Double. So I bank the Sky Attack, bring in Double, and my opponent responds with Shadow Machamp. Definitely not what I was expecting to see in the Open Great League, as Shadow Machamp is tearing me to shreds with these counters. It looks like Machamp is going for the full farm down, so at the very least I will be able to grab a shield. That's quite nice, and I'm hoping that I can get them low enough to where one Dragon Breath will KO. I'm going to send in Altaria, but they're barely able to survive that Dragon Breath, and they will be able to grab a shield with the Rock Slide. That's a bit unfortunate. Altaria is very close to having a Moonblast loaded, and they have it here. I decide to call a bait, feeling risky, but I get hit with the Moonblast, and now it's all up to Gourgeist in the back. They have Shadow Victory Bell. At the very least, I do resist the Razor Leafs here. I'm going to farm up to what could be a Shadow Ball and bait with the Seed Bomb, hoping to try and grab a shield. Seed Bomb does get the shield. My opponent throws on alignment, giving me a free Hex. That is quite nice. They fire off the Leaf Blade, and in this moment, I realize Gourgeist might just, unfortunately, be better suited to run Shadow Ball, because Poltergeist is just very expensive. Poltergeist KOs, but as you see, I'm not going to be able to reach a second, and I get farmed down. Moving into the next match, still no Lanturns encountered yet, as we lead Altaria into Umbreon. This is a pretty decent matchup for Altaria, specifically because we do have access to super effective Moonblast, and as you can see, I did make a bit of an adjustment to the team. Tried out Poltergeist, found it to be a bit too expensive for my liking, so I did end up switching back to Shadow Ball to see if that moveset works a bit better. I'm able to land the Moonblast, which is quite nice. Umbreon does have a lot of energy, and they're going to begin spamming out these charge moves. They land Foul Play number 2, and they are able to outpace me and reach Foul Play number 3. I'm going to try and go for the farm down here. If my opponent does get close to their next Foul Play, I'm just going to bank all of this energy for later and make the catch onto Double. Let's go. Double easily able to absorb that energy, and then my opponent sends in Shadow Swampert, and suddenly I have hope. Maybe this is an ABB style team where they have Umbreon as their Trevenant counter, and they have a Lanturn in the back. That would be absolutely terrific. They do not have the back-to-back moves here, so I'm actually going to commit a shield and try and force a shield myself. This Body Slam is going to get a shield from my opponent. They choose not to overfarm by much, so I'm 100% fine with letting this go, and I'm just going to farm down with Gourgeist. In comes Gourgeist. Gourgeist looking for the farm down. They're going to fire off a Hydro Cannon. I'm going to let this through as it is going to be resisted. My opponent is actually staying in here as I'm able to farm down. Is it what I'm hoping? Is it going to be the Lanturn? Yes, it is! We have found our target. We have found Lanturn. I'm going to fire off the Seed Bomb onto the Lanturn, hitting for super effective damage. Gourgeist continuing to farm, firing off Seed Bomb number 2. That's going to get the Lanturn deep into the red. Gourgeist continues to farm. Opponent fails the catch, and they concede the match. Moving into the next match, leading Altaria into Machamp. This is a pretty decent lead for Altaria. My goal is to play out the 2 shield here and then hopefully catch an Ice Punch onto my Dubwool. They're going to be able to outpace, of course, reaching the Ice Punch, so I will commit the shield. Altaria can tank an Ice Punch, but if I don't have to tank one, then I definitely don't plan to. I'm going to return fire with the Sky Attack. Sky Attack will, of course, grab the shield. My opponent is going to reach Ice Punch number 2, and I will immediately shield up here. As you can see, these Dragon Breaths are absolutely tearing through the Machamp. I will fire off the Sky Attack to force the last shield, and now it's all about counting and knowing when to switch. I farm up, switch, and I'm able to make the catch onto my Dubwool. That's huge. They will be able to hit me with super effective counters, but since they're energy dry, I'm able to outpace, reach the body slam, and this will be getting rid of the Machamp. Machamp has been taken out. My opponent is going to send in a Shadow Nidoqueen. I'll be honest, I haven't seen very many Nidoqueens post-nerf. This is one of the few that I've seen. My opponent looks like they're trying to go for a farm down, but not before Dubwool is able to reach another body slam. This body slam is able to land, getting the Nidoqueen very low as Nidoqueen goes for the farm down. I bring in Altaria. Altaria will be able to soak this energy here. They go for the Poison Fang. In the back, they have a Lanturn. Get absolutely walled by Gourgeist. Gourgeist is going to start spamming out these seed bombs. First one, able to land onto the Lanturn. Lanturn continuing to farm. Lanturn, it doesn't matter what they throw. They go for the Thunderbolt. That just does absolutely nothing. And Gourgeist can very safely farm up to the back-to-back seed bombs. First one will easily take out the Lanturn, and then we will have the second one stored to take out the remaining health on the Nidoqueen. Down goes Lanturn. Down goes the Nidoqueen. And that is a good game. Moving into the next match, leading Altaria into Noctowl. This is a generally favorable lead for Altaria, purely based off bulk. It is a battle, of course, of neutral damage versus neutral damage, but Altaria is just incredibly tanky. Noctowl is going to strike first. They go straight for the Shadow Ball, and Shadow Ball is able to land. I'm going to continue to farm myself and then go for a Sky Attack. Sky Attack, not going to be enough to KO, but will do some solid chip damage. Noctowl continues to farm. Noctowl is going to fire off a charge move. I should be able to tank this here. They go for the Sky Attack. Altaria able to hang on and reach the last second Sky Attack myself. Decision time for my opponent. Do they want switch? Yes, they do. And I'm honestly just going to let myself get taken out and bring in Dubwool. I'm hoping that Gourgeist should have some nice play in the back once the Noctowl is out of the way. I'm able to tank the move and get the farm down. Unfortunately, I don't have switch advantage, but I do have shield advantage and an energy lead, which is quite nice. And my opponent sends in a Trevenant. I have the energy lead, no baiting here. I'm going straight for the payback. Payback, able to land a switch into Gourgeist, and I'm able to catch the Seed Bomb. Let's go. We'll have to see what my opponent has in the back, and they have Galarian Stunfisk in the back, and I'm just going to start spamming out charge moves with Gourgeist. I'm going for the Shadow Ball. Honestly, Shadow Ball felt a lot better on Gourgeist overall, just because it does do a significant amount of damage, but the ability to get to it faster than something like Poltergeist did definitely prove to be quite valuable. I'm going to commit the shield here as a Rock Slide would be lethal from this range, and go for a Seed Bomb. Fully expecting my opponent is going to be committing a shield here, as a Shadow Ball would definitely KO, so they do commit the shield. I'm going to send in Dubwool, basically force them to burn their energy. My opponent is going to fire off a Rock Slide. Rock Slide not going to be enough to KO. The game lags a bit, and I'm not able to get a fast move through. That is not great, but either way, Gourgeist should be able to clutch this. I just have to watch for the catch, so I wait, throw the charge move in the middle of their Mud Shot. Seed Bomb will KO. I can Hex down the Trevenant, and that is a good game. Hopping into the final match, picking up a pretty nice lead, Altaria into Machamp. Same game plan as I've done before. I'm going to stay in this matchup, play out the 2s, and then hopefully catch an Ice Punch onto my Dubwool. They overfarm quite a bit, and they're going to fire off the Ice Punch. I will, of course, commit the shield. Altaria continues to farm, and I will fire off the Sky Attack. I'm fully expecting a shield from my opponent here, as Sky Attack definitely not a move that Machamp is very keen to take. Machamp is overfarming quite a bit in this matchup, and they fire off another another Ice Punch. I will commit the shield. I'm going to overfarm myself, and then I will fire off the Sky Attack. The Sky Attack would KO if they let it through, so they're going to burn the final shield. I continue to farm, go for the catch, but my opponent is able to hold on to their energy, and now they're going to be able to connect with a Psychic. That is really not great news for me, as Psychic does a lot more damage compared to an Ice Punch. I will reach a Body Slam. Body Slam is going to get rid of the Machamp. We'll have to see what my opponent has in the back. And they have a Shadow Charizard. They bring in the Zard, get some energy, and then they end up catching onto their Swampert. Very interesting. My switch clock is not up, so I'm just going to be taken out here, but I should be in a pretty decent spot. I'm going to send in Gourgeist and basically farm up some energy while tanking a move from the Swampert as well. Swampert is running Sludge Wave. That does quite a lot of neutral damage. I'm going to bank the Shadow Ball and then send in Altaria. Altaria is going to get hit with a move from the Swampert. Swampert was able to reach the Sludge Wave, and that does get me low. And that's honestly a bit scary, because now, if Charizard is able to farm down, they're going to win CMP over Gourgeist. This is going to be close. Sky Attack, big damage. It's a race. Altaria barely gets the farm down, and that is a good game. All in all, I really enjoyed getting to go lantern hunting with my Gourgeist. Gourgeist definitely more of a pick for fun than for climbing, but being able to absolutely hardwall lanturns was very fun. If you are looking to run a team similar to this, I would recommend subbing out the Gourgeist for Defense Deoxys, as Altaria, Dubwool, Defense Deoxys is a pretty strong team that can actually help you climb. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you as always to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.